Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio. your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. B. Cox, he'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper, don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd solo brought Atlanta their ring.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a great day as we're going to get this started here in just a bit. Pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. I'm going to leave the lineup here on the front. We don't have a lot to get into. There's still not an official word on Murphy, but it does look like he avoided a major injury. We hope to hear more about it today. They'll do some scanning and whatnot, but essentially what it looked like is that it's just an inflammation, and they're hoping he can. Now, one thing I hope to God they don't do it again. If he's gonna miss a week or so, put him on the IL and bring back Trump, and let's quit screwing around. Because if they do this nonsense again that they did with Riley, where he was out for 2 weeks, and they didn't have the extra person on the roster, it's going to be an absolute disaster. We're going to play a clip from you from Snicker Postgame on everything. Had to chop it up a little bit because the audio was bad, but I do want to get my pick to click in today. Pick to click is Marcell Ozuna. You've not seen Marcell Ozuna's numbers against Nick Pivetta, lifetime. These are something to jump out and go, wow. Like he may not click because he may not get a pitch to hit. But Marcell Ozuna, now a lot of the Braves have seen Pivetta, not just for his days in the Red Sox, but he used to be a Philly. Marcell Ozuna, you ready for this? 308 lifetime. Okay, 8 for 28. Whoopity-doo. 6 home runs. 8 of his hits are 6 home runs. 14 RBI. So my pick to click is going to be Marcell Ozuna. This is just insane. Other numbers against Pivetta. Austin Riley is 4 for 18 lifetime with 2 home runs. So not a terribly high average, but he does have 2 home runs. Olson's 2 for 10, but he does have a home run. Darnold's 3 for 6 for a home run. So I would be thinking that Charlie's going to be picking Darnold today. Duvall is 3 for 9. Does not have a yard. Another one to keep an eye on. This is insane too. I almost went with Orlando, but he's batting ninth and not third, so you're going to get the extra at bat. Orlando Arcia, what? Does he know what pitch is coming? He's 6 for 7 lifetime versus Pavetta with 2 home runs. Now, the odds are things are going to even out, and Pavetta will get him out a couple of times a day. But 6 for 7? 6 for 7 against a guy who is an established major league star. This isn't some run-of-the-mill schmo. I mean, this guy has had some good years in Major League Baseball. The key to me today is going to be how well Schwellenbach pitches. We need to have something close to a quality start. He's still young, he's still learning. So I'm not expecting 6 and 3 that technically get you a quality start. But if you give me 5 and 3, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, Braves should put some runs on the board today. Here's the post game from Snicker real quick.
To have multiple home runs tonight, how good was that just to set the tone for this road trip?
Good. I mean, like I said, I think we continue to show signs that we're coming and getting our the offense going up and down the lineup. And it was good to see Murph had that RBI single. And so, hopefully we just got to keep playing.
For Ozzie, he said, man, it was about time to get that home run. Do you just feel like he's been so patient and just continue to work diligently?
Ozzie's a guy that I think takes it day to day, and but it was good to see him hit a ball like that, especially left-handed.
And Max, last question. Max at 13 career high strikeouts. I mean, is he just continue to be unreal?
The curveball is really, really good tonight. Really good. It's just the 2 of the runs they gave up is kind of unfortunate, with the catcher's interference to load the bases. But he did a good job pitching around, through all that and limiting damage. And, it was good, nice, solid outing.
I think Travis said one time he's one of those guys, like game 6, he gets stepped on. He goes that game or this year doesn't start well. He gets on a little run. What is it about guys like that maybe
they're pros? They understand it's a long season. They get this whole process that we go through, and it's not about one start, one stretch or anything. It's just such a long season, and I think they don't try to worry about having a season in a week or so. And they understand that there's going to be rough spots in it, whether it's beginning, middle, or end, and they're just very professional about how they handle it.
How nice was it to see that moment for Sale after the first inning?
Yeah, it's cool. It was nice. I know he meant a lot to this organization, and that was nice that they acknowledged him.
Perfect, that catcher's interference, but he comes back, that RBI single, that caught stealing, that next inning. Just how big was what he did in that inning on both sides of the job?
Especially the caught stealing right there. I think it was good for him, I think, to get that RBI. It was a good at bat. He hit that ball well. Then he really came out of there firing. So it's good. I just hope hope he can get back in there.
So that was Brian Snicker. We're gonna hit the pregame here. We're gonna hit the lineups, all that stuff. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country as we're going for the sweep, looking for the 2-game sweep. It's not, you can't get too excited and start getting brooms out because a 2-game series just doesn't have the same oomph that the regular series, 3-game, 4-game series has. But it would be nice for them to get off the schneid. All right, y'all, we'll be back in a flash.
Drink like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
you're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won.
Want a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. 5 home runs, 19 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .259. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 3 home runs, 19 RBI, a .230 average. Designated hitter and batting third, Marcell Ozuna. 17 home runs, 53 RBI, a .313 average. Matt Olson, batting cleanup and playing first with 9 home runs, 33 RBI, a .236 average. Ozzie Albies playing second with 4 home runs, including a big one last night, 29 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .275. Travis d'Arnaud is behind home plate with a .252 average, 5 home runs, 21 RBI. Adam Duvall is in right field with 5 home runs, 15 RBI, batting .196. Jared Kelenic is batting 8th with 3 home runs, 12 RBI, a .268 average. And Orlando Arcia is batting 9th with 6 home runs, including 1 last night, 21 RBI, and a .235 average. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Spencer Schwellenbach. He's 0-1 with a 5.4 ERA, 1.2 whip, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run, his second major league start. He'll be going head-to-head with Nick Pivetta, who is 2-4 with a 4.08 ERA. 105 whip, 35 1/3 innings pitched, 30 hits allowed, 42 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 8 home runs served. Backing up Pivetta in the bottom of the first inning, it's Jarren Duran. He's playing left field with 3 home runs, 24 RBI, 11 stolen bases, batting .258. Valdez batting second, playing second. 4 home runs, 15 RBI, batting .188. Ref Snyder is the designated hitter with 2 home runs, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .333 and batting third. Rafael Devers playing third and batting cleanup for the Boston Red Sox. He has 11 home runs, 29 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .282. Tyler O'Neill is in right field with 11 home runs, 17 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .236. Dominic Smith playing first and batting 6th. 2 home runs, 15 RBI, batting .198. Hamilton is batting 7th and playing short with 2 home runs, 6 RBI, 9 stolen bases, batting .271. Rafaela is manning center field and batting 8th. He has 7 homers, 33 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .206. And McGuire is behind the plate and batting 9th. He has 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 3 stolen bases for the hind catcher, and a .226 clip. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate today, it's David Rackley. First base umpire is Junior Valentine. Second base will be manned by Jeremy Riggs, and down the third base line, it's Ramon DeJesus. Game time temperatures here in Fenway Park, Boston, Massachusetts, are expected to be 67 degrees at first pitch with partly cloudy skies. 1:35 first pitch for your Atlanta Braves, who are 10 games over 500 at 34-24. The Boston Red Sox come in 30-31. Red Sox are 13-18 at home. The Braves are 15-12 on the road. Atlanta Braves are minus 110 on the money line. The over-under is 10.5. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Red Sox, game 2 of the 2-game dip here in Fenway. The last time we'll see Boston this year in the regular season. We got the corn cob kicking for the Husker Schwellenbach today. for you Braves Country Club members. First pitch is on the way for Braves Country. Get your game face on. Let's go for the 2-game sweep.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves Country. Your Atlanta Braves are wearing their classic road grays top to bottom. Atlanta on the chest in red, outlined in navy, tomahawk underneath. Boston Red Sox, their classic home whites with the Red Sox in red across the chest. Red Sox will be wearing a blue ball cap with the red B on the front. Atlanta with their classic navies and the white A representing the city of Atlanta. Nick Pivetta is throwing his final warm-up tosses. We'll get roll call here going here in a second as Michael Harris II steps in with a .259 batting average, .673 OPS to lead us off. He is 0 against Nick Pivetta in his career. Hopefully he can get things going here. Considering the success the other guys have had, I'm really surprised he's leading off today. But nonetheless, yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch on the way is a 93-mile-an-hour fastball taken at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. I think that right there in itself is a improvement on the approach from Harris, not swinging at the first pitch, especially a pitcher's pitch. The 0-1 pitch, curveball outside, taken well outside. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty lefty, the pitch on the way from Pivetta. Swing, and that ball is laced to second base, dropped by the second baseman Valdez, but quickly picked up and flipped over to first. It's a 4-3 put out, 1 away. Hard hit ball, but right in the teeth of the defense. That'll be one of those balls that the guys who get way too into the numbers will talk about. That's a hard hit ball. It was bad luck. But if you're pulling the ball into the defense, it's not a good hit. Austin Riley comes to the plate batting second, .661 OPS. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Riley is a cutter down and away. Did he go around? He did not. It's 1-0. Good afternoon to everybody in Braves Country. You haven't done so far, say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're listening from. Good afternoon to you Country Club members. First and foremost, we'll get you all kicking as the 1-0 pitch misses high and out of the zone 2-0. Good afternoon to the Country Club members. We've got the GOAT in the chat. We've got David S. in the chat. Appreciate all you Country Club members. The 2-0 pitch swung on. Ball hit hard on the ground, but right to third. 5-3 put out. 2 away. Pulled on the ground. Not where you want to hit it if you're Riley. So 2 down, and that'll bring the big Zoo to the plate. We talked about it earlier. He has 8 hits against Pivetta, an average of .308, and 6 of those 8 hits have gone yard. We've got Robert, Country Club member, in the chat. We've got Gary McCoy. The first pitch on the way to Ozuna, 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses high. It's 0-1. Also in the chat, Braves Country, we've got Kenneth Underwater. The 0-1 right there for the top for the zone. It's 0-2. Underwater, we got AY, John, Sean, Mr. Woodrow. Keep it up. Craig, Ragsy. Ragsy from the Dominican Republic. Welcome in, Ragsy. The 0-2 pitch to Marcell Ozuna, righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Nick Pivetta cruising through the first inning, 3 up, 3 down, 2 ground outs, and a strikeout. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Am I boring? Sure. Social skills? None. But I'm loyal if you feed me, and I will never leave you because, well, I need the food.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I think one of my biggest faults is that when I ask somebody what their name is, I forget to listen to what their name is.
On July 15th, 1994, in a game between the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians, umpires confiscated a bat belonging to the Indian star slugger Albert Bell. They suspected Bell had tampered with it, illegally hollowing it out and filling it with cork to enhance his bat speed. Bell's teammates were worried. They were sure that all of Bell's bats were corked and did not want their best player suspended. Indians pitcher Jason Grimsley had a plan to get his teammate off the hook. Gripping a flashlight with his teeth, he hoisted himself into the crawl space above the clubhouse and inched along on his stomach until he was on top of the umpire's dressing room where Bell's bat had been locked away for safekeeping. Grimsley lowered himself into the room, replaced Bell's bat with an unadulterated one belonging to another player, and then crawled back to the clubhouse. The umpires were furious when they discovered the switch, but there was little they could do about it.
The hero of the piece is probably Jason Grimsley because he's the one acting on behalf of the team. But there's your problem with cheating. Some of it is, in fact, weirdly commendable, if not noble. You know, Gaylord Perry, how many times did he throw a spitball, and how many times did he merely convince you that he threw a spitball? How many of these are not so much cheats as deceptions, artful deceptions?
Welcome back in. Good evening from Ken Scott, Country Club member. Welcome in, Ken. Also see Craig from Atlanta and Keep It 200 is from Iceland. How about that? Underwater listening from Bristol, Connecticut. First pitch from Schwellenbach was outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 righty-lefty matchup. Swing and a miss. 97 up top. 1-1. Good afternoon. We've got Travis. I don't think I saw Hussein. Hello, Hussein. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 97 once again. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Already it appears that Schwellenbach's velocity is up in this game. We'll see if it stays up that high. He was consistently hitting 95, 96 in the first start. The 1-2. Fastball misses high 98. Missed outside, but 98 miles an hour. Goodness gracious. So a 2-2. Righty lefty pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball's chopped over to second. A one hopper. Ozzy's got it. Flips it to Matt. 4-3 put out. 1 down. Good to see you, Lane. So 1 down, and Valdez, who's batting second today with the 188 average, 569 OPS, steps in. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Schwellenbach. From Schwellenbach, I should say. Curveball outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Of course, none of these batters have seen Schwellenbach. This will be the first time through. You'll keep an eye on the adjustments they make. The 1-0 right there on the outer edge. Good curveball. Sweeping curveball by Schwellenbach. A little bit of a 2-8 action. So a 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Olsen. Olsen waves off Schwell, steps on the pillow, and there's 2 down. So 2 down. Ref Snyder will come to the plate. You know, he's a guy that could be available at the deadline. He's a hard-hitting outfielder. He's the designated hitter today, but when that guy gets on a tear, he absolutely gets on a tear. The guy that I really would like to see is Tyler O'Neill from this squad because he's on a 1-year deal. But as long as Boston's in it, they're probably not making any trades right now. First pitch on the way is a slider at the knees to Ref Snyder. It's 0-1. Schwellenbach just 9 pitches into the game. The 0-1 pitch. Slider misses down, 1-1. Ref Snyder batting .333 with a .915 OPS, 2 homers, 14 RBI. The 1-1 swung on, chopped over to third, or make it short. Excuse me. Thought they had the shift on. And that'll end the inning. 6-3 put out. And we have a swell of a good first inning. We'll be back in a flash. Middle of the lineup due up for Atlanta.
Y'all want to know who I date, who I go with?
No. Got to come in with a fastball and gain a fastball hitter.
Deep to left. There's Ron Gant's first ever grand slam.
I was talking to one of my friends, and he told me that him and his new girlfriend were trying something new, so they wanted to try bees. So, and he said, "Did you know that you're supposed to pull beads out real slow?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know that." And he was like, "Me neither. I started that girl up like a chainsaw."
I'm 40. I threw my back out plugging in my phone charger the other day. I'm 40. Why are everyone's headlights so bright? I'm 40. If there's no parking, I'm not going. I'm 40. I'm going to calculate my sugar intake relative to hours before bed. I'm 40. Why are there so many people everywhere all the time? I'm 40. I'm cranky, and I'll be the first one to tell you.
2 outs, 2 strikes on Reggie, and you've got to know he's going to get the super sinker. The set, here it comes. The sinker swung on and missed. Reggie is fuming it.
Late in his career, Hall of Fame pitcher Gaylord Perry confessed what those who had played against him knew all too well, that he had regularly doctored the ball. Generations of major leaguers, including some of the greatest stars in the game, used some form of amphetamines to increase their focus and energy. But by the late 1980s, some baseball players had found a new way to gain an edge.
Welcome back. Matt Olson leads us off. First pitch is a 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer below the zone. It's 1-0. Braves nothing, Sox nothing. Top of the second, the 1-0. High and out of the zone, 2-0. See, Underwater talking about his Pirates. Paul Skeens is on the mound today, and Jared Jones gave the Dodgers fits. And if they think they had a hard time with Jones, what do they see Skeens, the 2-0? Outside, wide, ball 3, 3-0. So a 3-0 count. The pitch on the way, swing, and swats it back foul against the screen behind home plate. It's 3-1. Should be a good little pitcher's duel. John Pax is pitching for the Dodgers today. He's had a resurgence. That seems to happen when they put on that Dodger uniform. The 3-1 pitch, high and out of the zone, ball 4, and it's the Atlanta Braves' first base runner. Base on balls, and Olsen will walk on down to first, and that'll bring Ozzie Albies. Ozzie went yard last night. He went yard last year. I was thinking about that last night after the game, one of the games I went to. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is a swung on curveball, pop back foul. It's 0-1. Never been to Fenway. It's a really cool experience. I'll still take Truist over it any day of the week, but it's got an old feel to it. It's a really cool atmosphere. Fans were great. The 0-1 swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-2. But you get kind of spoiled. If you go to Truist Park and you see the rest, you're like, man, we just do it different. can't really compare a stadium that was built over 100 years ago to the modern one that we have now, the O2. In the dirt, good take by Ozzie. Tried to get him to chase that curveball in the dirt, 1-2. What is the P1? Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think they did, yes. They did have the troughs. The 1-2 pitch. Steps off. You'd think that would stick out to me, but we went to both games. It was a Tuesday night and Wednesday night game. I would have loved it to been this way, the Tuesday night, Wednesday day. But it was the Tuesday night, Wednesday night in July is the 1-2 pitch. High and out of the zone, 2-2. The biggest thing that I remember from it was everyone telling me how good the food was going to be there, and I just thought it was average at best. So a 2-2 count. Righty lefty digs in the pitch. High and out of the zone, ball 3-2. Pivetta in danger of walking the first two batters here in the top of the second. So Ozzie will take his timeout, readjust his glove, but more so figure out where he's going to go with this one. Long at bat, he's seen 3 out of the zones to get it to full. Pivetta comes set, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, chase that curveball. Well out of the zone, 1 away. That takes brass ones to throw that one after walking Olson and in danger of walking the first 2. I think Ozzie was asking home plate umpire Rackley if that was in the zone. That was nowhere near the zone. He'd have been skipping down to first. So Travis d'Arnaud will come to the plate. You'll notice that that's Pivetta's out pitch when he gets ahead, or when he gets the 2 strikes. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Pivetta throws a 4-seam, a sweeper, a curve, a cutter, and a slider. The 0-1, swing and a miss, chase that sweeper down and away. It's 0-2. He predominantly throws the 4-seam and some version of the curve. It's either the sweeper or the curve. So you get the 4-seam 49% of the time and the sweeper and the curve about an extra 36% of the time. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, chase that one well out of the zone. That was pitch out territory, strike 3. So after Olson walks to lead off the inning, 2 strikeouts by Pivetta. Pretty bad at bat there for Travis, all things considered. Adam Duvall, ex-Boston Red Sox, steps in. The first pitch on the way. Looks at the sweeper down and away. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 95 right in his kitchen. It's 1-1. The 1-1 count. Pitch to Duvall. High and inside. Ball 2-2-1. John says the nostalgia of Fenway wears off by about the 4th inning when you realize it's just an old dump. It's really not a bad baseball stadium. The cool thing about it is that it's very inviting to the fans to sit and watch the games. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, pops it up, high in the sky, fighting the sun, but making the catch is Smith. That'll end the inning. So Olson gets things started, but nobody can even get him to scoring position. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Interesting facts about me. I was born on my birthday. I don't tell everybody this, but I'm also naked under my clothes.
Spring training, the precursor to the regular season. Here's the history of spring training. The first baseball team to host spring training outside of their home field was the New York Mutuals when they traveled to New Orleans in 1869. Aside from New Orleans, teams would also train in Washington, D.C., Georgia, and Cape May in New Jersey. Originally, not all teams participated in spring training. One manager argued that players would be more susceptible to injuries and colds when they returned to their colder home climates. The birthplace of spring training baseball can be traced back to Hot Springs, Arkansas, where the first major league teams would visit visit before the season started. Babe Ruth's first time playing any position other than pitcher occurred in a spring training game on St. Patrick's Day in 1918. The first time the phrase pitchers and catchers report was used was in an article in the Sporting News in 1924. After World War II, both the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees trained outside of the United States in the Dominican Republic and Cuba. The Grapefruit League got its name after an aviator named Ruth Law was supposed to drop a baseball 500 feet out of her plane for the Brooklyn Dodgers manager Wilbert Robinson to catch, but instead used a grapefruit because she forgot the ball. Usually the team with the best record in spring training doesn't go on to win the whole thing, but it has happened. Both the 2009 Yankees and the 2018 Boston Red Sox won both the Grapefruit League and the World Series in the same year.
So it wasn't just Canseco, and so one of the reasons that I thought that it was an important subject was it was spreading. It was already spreading by 1988.
The sports writer Tom Boswell tried to raise the issue, but no one paid attention. Soon, other players, including some of Canseco's Oakland teammates, were asking him for advice, following his training program.
We began seeing these enormous bodies like we'd never seen before. And, you know, when you saw some guys take off their shirts, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Schwellenbach is high and inside for a strike. It's 0-1. Rafael Devers stands in with the 282 average. He's got 11 home runs on the year. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's golfed into left field, Will it get over? It will. That ball is gone. A solo shot. Devers playing pepper with the Green Monster and got it over the edge. Boston leads 1-0. Doesn't take much to get out of this stadium. That might have been out in a lot of other ones, but he just went down there and pitched it over the left field gates. 1-0 your score. Red Sox lead it. It's a curveball. Just turned inside out, swing on it. Just got it over. Say in most places it's probably in the yard. First pitch on the way to O'Neill is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The thing about is the 0-1 pitch, swung on, chopped foul. 0-2. Thing about the Braves left field is it's much further back, but it's got a very short fence, so it doesn't take much to get out as long as you can get it over the outfielder's head. The 0-2. Righty. Swing, and that ball's hammered foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. John says, Hall of Famer, I know. Yeah, his biggest issue has been staying healthy. He's battled quite a bit of injuries, and I listen to a Red Sox podcast pretty frequently, and a couple of the guys have been on to the fact is the 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Do it again, 0-2. They have been really critical of Rafael Devers' commitment to weight training and just all overall physical condition. You always see it just always looks a little pudgy. Is the 0-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball's hit up the middle in between the 4-6 hole, and the Red Sox got one on, nobody out, and one across here in the second. And Devers carries the weight well now. The biggest concern that they have, when he gives them these slumps, it's the first thing they point it to, and of course they're going to. But then the other thing is he going to age well? He's 28 now, but what's he going to be like at 33, 34? Which is really what determines getting you into the Hall of Fame. First pitch on the way to Dominic Smith, who golfed one out last night, is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty-lefty. Pitch on the way. 95 outside, 1-1. Schwellenbach 6'1", 200-pounder, 24 years old, just turned 21 from Saginaw, Michigan. The 1-1 swing and a miss cutter right down the pipe. It's 1-2. He was picked to the 59th overall pick in the second round for the Atlanta Braves in 2021 out of Nebraska. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Now they said he got a piece of it. Not sure about that one, 1-2, but Dominic Smith has a laugh on his face. I think he's kind of like the cat that ate the canary. Umpires go off the sound of that, but anything could make that sound. So a 1-2 count. Righty lefty, pitch on the way, swung on and foul back out of play. It's 1-2. Yeah, Pablo Sandoval is the main one that they point to because, first of all, they both played third base. Second of all, the Red Sox gave Sandoval this huge contract and he never lived up to it. The 1-2 to Dominic Smith. Runner on first. Fastball misses high and out of the zone. 95 miles an hour, 2-2. Schwellenbach's got to start looking at that pitch count. He's at 24 and still hasn't gotten an out here in the second. You'd love a double play. The 2-2. Swung on and rifles that foul. Really making Schwell work. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Pretty much gone cutter and slider to the left-hander. He's mixed in 2 four-seamers as well. The 2-2. Down and in. Ball 3, 3-2. So Nibbling has now gotten the count full. Dominic Smith, 28 years old from Los Angeles, California, drafted by the Mets in the first round of 2013. The 3-2 pitch, nowhere near the zone, ball 4. So Schwellenbach has given up a home run, a single, and now walked Smith. Put runners on first and second, nobody out. You know, this is where Kranitz should really be getting up off his tail. I know it's not his call, but he should be getting up off his tail to go talk to him, calm him down, because being a rookie, you got runners on first and second, nobody out. Hamilton comes to the plate. It's going to be a righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way, drops a bunt, foul, back behind home plate. It's 0-1. David Hamilton. Drafted by the Brewers in 2019. Played college baseball for the University of Texas. The 0-1, swing and a miss up top. It's 0-2. Fastball. Missed the entire 2019 season after undergoing a torn ACL. But in college, he won the defensive player of the year as the 0-2 pitch swung on, lifted into left field. That's going to get up off the green monster, and that will score a run. It's 2-0. Boston. Runners on second and third and nobody out. Really wasn't that bad of a pitch. Now, keep in mind, the wind is blowing out, so the Braves are going to have to score some runs today to get this win. You cannot expect Schwellenbach to go in there and pitch a clean 5-6 innings in Boston with the wind blowing out to the monster. Kranitz finally waddles out there to talk to Schwellenbach. Always feels like it's a day late and $1 short when they finally go out there to talk to him. Now you got runners on the second and third. 2 in, still a long way to go in this one. Once again, the Braves should be able to put some runs up on the board today. This is the only game going on right now. Cardinals and Astros are about to get started here in a few minutes. Corners are in. First pitch on the way is a slider down and away to Rafaela. It's 1-0. Rafaela batting just 206, but he does have 7 home runs on the year. Righty-righty matchup, kind of a utility, plays everywhere. He's in the center today. The 1-0. Cutter, swing and a miss off the edge. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Popped up high in the sky. Coming in, making the catch is Kelenic. That'll keep the runners put. Kelenic makes the catch probably 10 feet past the infield dirt. Had plenty of time to come in. Of course, such a short porch there in left field, you don't have very long to go. I'm still a little surprised that they did not put Duvall out in left field because he played left field in Boston last year. And I feel like you need someone with the experience of how to play that green monster. First pitch on the way. Curveball off the edge to McGuire. Left-handed hitting catcher. It's 0-1. Snickers said yesterday that they played with the idea of putting Duvall out there, but it eventually came to the conclusion they shouldn't. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Cutter. Down and in, it's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Schwell, 36th pitch of the afternoon on the way. Swing and fouls it down the first base side. We'll do it again, 0-2. Strikeout would be huge right here for Schwellenbach. You got the top of the order looming on deck. McGuire's batting .226 with a .631 OPS. The 0-2 in the dirt. Ball gets away, but not very far. Darnold on it. Runners will stay put. And a 1-2 count. Righty-lefty. The pitch from Schwell. Swing, and that ball's lifted into left field. Going in, making the catch at the warning track is Kelenic. That should score the run. It does, and it is 3-0. The runner at second had to stay put. But 3-0 your score. Braves trail Boston. Schwellenbach at 38 pitches here in the second. Duran 0 for 1. First pitch on the way is 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked like it missed the zone, but we got the call. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Runner at second, 2 outs. Turns around, flips it over to second. Runner back in under the tag. Jaron Duran 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first. We'll take one of those right here. Get out of this inning. The 0-1 from Schwell. Right there on the outer edge, kissing the black with the 96 paint. It's 0-2. Braves 0. Red Sox 3. Second inning. Just getting going here. Kelenic, Arcia, and Harris will be due up in the third. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul and out of play. We'll do it again. So an 0-2 count. Duran from Corona, California, played his college ball at Long Beach State. The 0-2 swung on, pops it up, foul. We'll do it again. 96-mile-an-hour fastball right there in on his hands. Just got enough of it to stay alive. The 0-2 pitch from Schwell. Swing and a miss, strike three. Curveball got him, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Red Sox put 3 on the board. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Out of all my body parts, my eyeballs are the strongest because I roll them like 342 times a day.
You see this? He can't hit, he can't run, and he should have been born a girl. The only way he can catch a ball is if it hits him directly in the mouth. And yet, he shows up week after week just like a cold sore. If he can try, you can try. Now get out there and act like there's something in those jock straps.
Happy day to everyone except people that insist on putting loose change on top of dollar bills in your receipt in your hand. Like, don't do that. Change first.
In the wake of drug scandals that had rocked the game in the 1980s, Commissioner Fay Vincent was more concerned with preventing cocaine and marijuana abuse. And the powerful Major League Baseball Players Association, now led by Donald Fear, was vehemently opposed to any mandatory steroid screening program as a violation of their members' right to privacy. As a result, professional baseball players were free to take whatever they wanted, with no fear of punishment.
The notion that we would willingly surrender to our employer as the price of a job all the protections we insist on from the government is a rather extraordinary notion.
The Players Association did a horrible job in this case. They should have seen this early on and said, wait a minute, how can we expect some of our players to compete at a competitive disadvantage or force them to make the horrible choice of running whatever risks there may be to their health or their reputations or whatever it may be to either use to keep up or don't use and inevitably fall behind? Who is it that we represent? The guilty or the innocent?
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chop that sign down. Appreciate the likes. Please subscribe and join the country club today. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is up high for a ball. 1-0 misses outside wide. 2-0. Lefty righty matchup. 2-0. Swing and a miss. 93 out wide. 2-1. Kelnick batting .268 on the year, 3 home runs, 12 RBI. The 2-1 kicks and fires, swing and a miss curveball over the top, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's lifted down the line. Foul and out of play. The 2-2. Comes set. Swung on, chopped over to second. Should be an easy 4-3 put out. It is 1 down. One away. Lando Arcia comes to the plate. First pitch on the way, 93 miles an hour. The outer edge, it's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires. Right there, slider taken all the way 0-2. So Arcia, we talked about this beginning of the show, 6 for 7 lifetime versus Pivetta. Is now down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch swung on, pops it up, high and out of play. Do it again, 0-2. The 0-2. Pivetta lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. 95 mile an hour fastball. 2 down. 2 down. So far, Pivetta's rolling just 37 pitches with 2 2/3 innings. The top of the order will flip over. Braves yet to record a hit. Matt Olson, the only base runner with a walk, 5-pitch walk. First pitch on the way. Curveball top of the zone. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and fouls it back. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Righty, lefty. Kicks and fires. Caught looking, strike 3. Michael Harris will had the best seat in the house. He'll go grab his glove and get back out there to the outfield. Thanks for playing. We'll be back in a flash.
I feel like if God wanted to make me mentally stable, he would have made me mentally stable, but he didn't. So lock your doors.
After that tough 7-game series, Rodman had comments.
Yes.
About Larry Legend. Then they come to you.
Yeah.
And you had comments.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Game 7, I think Larry has like a triple-double, he torched Rodman, right? So Rodman's all upset. They get him the mic and he says what he says, right? And I kind of echo it. Now, here's the beauty of it. Larry, you had my career right in the palm of your hand. Had you handled that press conference different, you could have just but this is what this man said.
If the statements or whatever was said doesn't bother me, I don't think it should bother any of us. But I just feel sorry for Isaiah because, just walking in this room and seeing everybody, it must have touched a lot of people. But if Isaiah tells me that it was a joking matter, I think we should leave it at that.
Come on, we've been in them locker rooms, taking tough losses. Competition sometimes brings the best out of you and the worst. Isaiah was a great basketball player. He had a big career ahead of it. Could damage his career by saying something I didn't mean.
Do you think I'm elitist? Of course I do. You needn't worry about that. No, not in the good way.
Ever since the players had formed their union in 1966, tensions with the owners had steadily escalated. There had been a strike or a lockout every time they had to negotiate a new contract.
Basically what? They're arguing over how to spend our money, right? I'm a baseball fan. I like to see them play ball, but, I have no sympathy for either party. None.
The fact that it shut down and stayed shut down was devastating. I can remember being in New York in the fall and being on the 7 train and going past Shea Stadium. It looked like a graveyard to me. I can remember just thinking they should be playing right now and just being so angry to the point where there were tears in my eyes.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta trails 3-0. The first pitch from Schwellenbach to Valdez is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on, grounded over to Olson. He'll step on the bag. G3 in your scorecard. 1 away. One down. Schwellenbach at 45 pitches. He could use a quick inning here. Ref Snyder, who's 0 for 1, stands in. Righty. The pitch. 92 up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks in, fires, swung on, chopped foul down the line, 0-2. This game gets out of hand. You very well could see Ray Kerr come out of the bullpen to try to spell it to the back end. The 0-2, swatted foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. So an 0-2, the pitch. Swung on, lifted into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Harris cuts it off, fires it to second, and the runner will hold. So good hustle by Harris. See the question from John about Reds Country. Yeah, Reds Country comes on this channel as well. We talk National League baseball and focus on the NL Central. Do that about once every 10 to 14 days. First pitch on the waist, chopped over to Olsen. He'll fire it down to second. It's going to be a 3-6 put out. The runner or the batter will take his place at first on a fielder's choice, but there are 2 away. So 2 down. We have that, and we have another one called Redsox Country. We haven't been able to do in a couple of weeks because there was a death that highly affected that one. But we will be bringing that back in the near future. First pitch on the way to O'Neill. Misses down low for a ball. It's 1-0. That one we talk majority American League Baseball, focusing on the AL East. The 1-0, excuse me. Right there for a strike, 1-1. Cover Country is a betting show that we do. Saturdays, it'll be college football, NFL this fall. This is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Righty. The pitch. Down below the knee, slider misses, 2-2. Schwellenbach sitting at 54 pitches. Comes set, the 55th. Swing, and that ball's hit hard on the ground, but to Riley. Riley flips it over to second. Ozzy's covering. He'll touch the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Schwell got out of that one. We'll come back, grab the bats. The heart of the order due up for your Atlanta Braves.
Be like, men can get pregnant and have periods too, and don't you dare say otherwise. And another thing, until a man can get pregnant and carry a baby, I don't want to hear his opinion on abortion.
So everybody says if you take the coordinates to the Miami Mall and you reverse them, it'll put you in Antarctica.
Yeah, it's a grid system, dude. Latitude, longitude. It's a grid system. Yeah, that's how it works.
So all this talk of portals and stuff opening up, right? You change the north to east and change the west to south. That's it. It puts you right in Antarctica. Isn't that crazy?
Except it isn't, dude. It isn't. Have you ever seen a graph? It's not that crazy. I want to be an idiot. I want to be dumb, dude. Because you got to be dumb to just, somebody told me if you mix these numbers, then that's a portal to another. No further questions.
Now watch this. Watch what happens when I change the south and the east to north and west. Look where it puts me in.
Is it putting you on the other side of the graph, dude? Are you going to the other side of the graph?
Now, what are the odds of that?
It is a grid system. The odds are pretty good, dude. Have you never seen a graph? You can go up, you can go down, you can go left and right. What are you not getting about this? I wish I was an idiot, dude. Your life seems simple and great, and I'm envious.
Y'all, I recently realized that it's really important for me to get out of the house every once in a while to remind myself why I don't go out.
Suffer a shocking loss, and you think it's never going to be the same again. And you're thinking, I'm not going to another game. I'm not going to pay the prices that go into the players' pockets and into management's wallets. I'm not going to do it. I'm sick of all of them. And then Ripken comes along.
Welcome back. Atlanta Braves trail this one 3-0. But the heart of the Braves order is coming to the dish. Austin Riley leads us off, takes a hack at the first pitch. Curveball, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Braves have yet to get a base hit here in the top of the fourth inning. The 0-1. 95 out wide, 1-1. So Pivetta has a no-hitter going. He does not have the perfect game. Matt Olson reached on bases on balls. The 1-1. Swung on, lifted into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. We've got our first base hit of the game, and it's Austin Riley. Not the hardest hit ball, just off the end of the bat, but we'll take it. Here comes Marcell Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna has 6 lifetime home runs against Nick Pivetta. 27-game on-base streak right now where he's batting .330 and a 1046 OPS. Outfield is back. Infield is to the left and back. First pitch on the way. Sweeper right there on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Ozuna struck out in the first. The pitch. Outside wide. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Standing on deck is Olson. They can keep it going. Ozzy's in the hole. Game 2 of a 2-game set. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 95. Right down the pipe, 1-2. Beautiful day here in Fenway Park. Not much cloud coverage. Very sunny day. The 1-2. Swing and fouls it back. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. Ozuna got just enough to get a piece of it, stay alive. Mets and Nationals play later on today. The 1-2 in the dirt. Good take by the Big Zoo. It's 2-2. So you've seen sweepers and fastballs. The 2-2 from Pivetta, his 49th of the day. Turns around, flips it over to first to keep Riley close by. Riley dives back into the bag. One on, nobody out. The 2-2 from Pivetta. Sets and deals. Swing and a miss over the top of the sweeper. One away. Cardinals and Astros are scoreless heading to the bottom of the second. Later on this afternoon, 3:10 first pitch, Reds and Rockies. Giants and Diamondbacks, 3:40. That'll be Jordan Hicks versus Jordan Montgomery. Should be a pretty good pitching matchup. Matt Olson steps in, takes the first pitch, 95 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Brewers and Phillies, 4:05 first pitch. Andy Ashby trying to come back from injury to face Aaron Nola. Mets and Nationals, it'll be Severino versus Corbin, the 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. We'll head to Washington after this game to take on the Nationals for a 4-game series in the nation's capital. Later on this evening, Royals and Guardians, Singer versus a bullpen game, the 1-1. Cutter misses high, 2-1. Dodgers and Pirates tonight. Talked about that a little earlier. Skeens versus Paxton. That's 6:40. Rays and Marlins conclude their Sunshine Series at 6:40 tonight. The 2-1. High and out of the zone, 3-1. Yankees and Twins, 7:05 tonight. Rodon versus Paddock. Rodon has really bounced back. 7-2 with a 3.09 this year. The 3-1. Swing. Fouls it back. 95 miles an hour. Full count. So full count to Olsen, who walked his first time up. Orioles and Blue Jays at 7:07. The Windy City Showdown at 8:05. Tigers and Rangers at 8:05. And late tonight, you got 2 West Coast games, Angels, Padres, Mariners, A's. Time is called by Matt Olson. So a full count. Some confusion by Pavetta. Now we're set. Pavetta's shaking off his hind catcher, McGuire. The payoff pitch from Olsen. Kicks and fires. Swing and pops it up. Just got underneath it. Olsen slams his bat. It'll die into shallow right field, 2 away. So 2 down. Mets and Phillies about to go across the pond to face each other in the London series. Ozzie Albies comes to the plate. Righty-lefty open stance. First pitch on the way. Bang foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. Typically, those are like slow pitch softball type scores over there in London. The 0-1 kicks and fires high and out of the zone. 1-1. You got to figure if you're the pitcher that has been chosen to pitch those games, you kind of drew the short straw because your ERA is definitely going to take a dip. The 1-1 curveball misses high, but he gave him the strike anyways. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Ozzie's going to have to shake off that bad call and get ready. The pitch. Swing. Pops it up. Fouling out of play. We'll do it again. Just got a piece of that curveball that was bending. Down near the bottom of the zone. Riley still stands on first. 2 outs. The 1-2. In the dirt. Good take. 2-2. If Ozzie gets aboard, Travis d'Arnaud stands on deck. Duval in the hole. The 2-2. Pavetta, 61st pitch of the afternoon. Lifts his red glove and brings it. In the dirt, 3-2. So with 2 outs and a full count, Riley will be on the move. Anything that gets down in the gap should score the rake. The 3-2 pitch. High and out of the zone, ball 4. So a very good at bat by Ozzie Albies. Even getting that bum call that gave him the second strike. He did a great job of coming back, working that count and getting it forward. Travis d'Arnaud, 0 for 1, step to the plate. d'Arnaud. Batting .250 on the year with a 784 OPS. McGuire goes out there, have a quick chat with Pivetta. Looks like that the Cardinals have taken a 1-0 lead over Houston in the top of the third. So first and second, 2 outs, top of the fourth. Braves could use one in the gap here. First pitch, right there at the knees for a strike. It's on 1. Braves nothing, Red Sox 3, top 4. The 0-1, swing and a miss, that sweeper off the edge. 0-2. Travis down to his last strike. First and second, 2 out. They'll be running on contact. The pitch. Swing and a miss. There was no contact. Travis will go take a seat and go grab his gear because that was an easy 1-2-3 strikeout.
Hey, so to the guys that go to the gym every day for no reason at all, why?
Dad, teacher said we could be anything we wanted to be.
She wasn't talking to you, son. Go in the backyard and practice digging some holes.
While we all know the Muffin Man from the world-famous nursery rhyme, many don't know that it is based on a harrowing true story. Between 1589 and 1598, a man known as Frederick Thomas Linwood resided on Drury Lane in Victorian London. During his daily deliveries, he would lure children away from their homes by tying none other than, you guessed it, a muffin to a string, making him one of the first documented serial killers in history. As a result of Linwood terrorizing the streets of London, the nursery rhyme we all know today was created as a way to keep kids safe and raise awareness, and now is a prominent nursery rhyme that many don't know the dark origins behind.
Armchair.
Damn it, are you eating my egg?
Well, yeah, I got hungry. We never got our fish and chips.
That was the only one in the nest.
Nest? What? Where'd you get this egg? And why are you going around stealing eggs from nests and trees?
Well, it wasn't in a tree, it was in a hole.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a rat's egg or something.
As he approached the record, Ripken quietly waged a solitary campaign to refill half-empty ballparks, one fan at a time.
He truly acted like an adult after the strike and saw what he could bring to the game in 1995, even at an enormous cost to himself. Signing autographs for hours and hours. I remember one night when we came back up from interviewing and finished our stories. It's midnight now, and you look out, and there's still a line going all the way back up into the stands, and Cal is still signing autographs.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Spencer Schwellenbach, 55 pitches in. He's thrown 43 strikes, but that could be the problem. You don't want to be that predictable. 3 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 hits. Once again, it's really not the pitching so far for the Braves. It's the lack of runs. Dominic Smith will lead us off. It'll be Smith, Hamilton, and Raffaella here in the fourth. They'll start it off. The first pitch on the way is a curveball on the edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-lefty. The pitch. Swing and a miss over the top, 0-2. It's not really I see the comments talking about calling up Waldrop. Unless Waldrop can have an OPS around 900, get us some RBIs and home runs, I don't think that's going to fix this. So an 0-2 count. Righty-lefty. The pitch from Schwell. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Change him, got him chasing. 1 away. Schwellenbach, his second strikeout of the day. Calling that tell you what, they're calling that a change, but really has more of a grip of a splitter. First pitch on the way, righty-lefty matchup, curveball, swing and a miss from Hamilton, the number 7 hitter, the shortstop. It's 0-1. David Hamilton, 1 for 1, an RBI double in the second. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, changeup. Over the top, it's 0-2. An 0-2 count. The pitch. Outside, wide, 1-2. They have already set the pitching for this weekend is the 1-2. Swatted foul and out of play, 2-2. Man, I was when that news came out, I was worried to even look because I was afraid we were going to get another Ray Kerr experiment. But instead, the Braves is the 1-2 pitch. Swing, just got a piece of that to stay alive. The Braves are going to go status quo. It's going to be Ronaldo Lopez on Thursday, Chris Sale on Friday, Charlie Morton on Saturday, and Max Fried on Sunday. So a little concerned that even with the day off that they were going to try to get an extra day off. Is the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted high into center field. Drifting back well before the warning track is Michael the Hawk Harris, 2 away. Two down. Really do wish they had the ability to carry another pitcher and not have to stay to the confinements of the 13-man pitching roster. As the first pitch on the way, the swing and a miss slider over the top, it's 0-1. And that's why I still believe there's a good chance we see David Fletcher added to the roster at some point to give them that extra pitcher. As the 0-1 pitch, swung on, chopped foul down the line, 0-2. If you missed it yesterday, another start, 6 innings, 1 earned run. So he's had 2 starts with 11 innings, 1 earned run down on the farm. But if you could have him as your extra pitcher, as the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 97 up top. Schwellenbach, a clean inning in the 4th. We'll be back on a flash and finish that thought.
Can someone explain to me how 2 + 2 and 2 × 2 equal 4? Like they both, like what's the point in multiplication if it just means the same thing? Like,
what do you call when you can't drink milk?
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose and what?
Lactose intolerant. That's when you can't drink milk and stuff. That's how you say it.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
I just want to be clear. You're upset because we made friends with your cat?
You're unreasonable people. You're holding our cat. Go in your yard and say, go home. Don't come in our yard anymore.
She will not listen. She's a cat. She doesn't speak English. She's a cat, dude.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, we'll have the police department figure it out.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Great idea.
All right, you cat pervert.
I've done nothing to bring the cat. I've done nothing to bring the...
On September 6, 1995, 5 months after the strike had ended, the Orioles faced the California Angels in Baltimore. Tickets for this game had been sold out for months. After 4.5 innings of play, the game was official. Cal Ripken had played in 2,131 consecutive games.
For the moment you've been waiting for.
Welcome back. Braves trail this one 3-0. Adam Duvall is going to lead us off. Pavetta goes back to work. 65 pitches in. The first pitch on the way is swung on and popped up. That'll be an easy fly ball catch over to first, fighting the son of Smith, but he's got it. One away. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Braves trying to get something going here. You hate seeing Duvall give away an at-bat like that. 1 down, and Kid Kelnick comes to the plate. Kelnick 0 for 1. Righty-lefty. The pitch. 94 on the outer edge. For a strike, it's 0-1. Did y'all see the video of... I thought this was pretty cool. Is the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped over to second. Easy 4-3 put out. 2 down. Adam Duvall is out there in the outfield. He throws the ball towards the chop house. These guys had a pyramid of cans that were stacked up, and he hit the ball. He hit the pyramid of cans with the ball from right field on the money and destroyed it, and all the fans went wild. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball. Right there at the knees for a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing! And that ball's lifted down the left field line, but foul. That stays straight. It's going to smack up against the green monster. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Braves 3 up, 3 down. I mean, they just wilt like a flower. We'll be back in a flash.
I may not be famous, and I may not be a beauty queen. That's it. That's all.
This is the career of Denton Young. People who witnessed his fastball destroy fences said it looked like a cyclone hit it, and that's how he got the nickname Cy. Because he threw so hard, one of his battery mates named Charles Zimmer used to put a beefsteak inside of his glove to protect his catching hand. He was a workhorse. On the last day of his rookie season, he pitched both games of a doubleheader, and not surprisingly, won both of them. They say he is one of the reasons they changed the distance from the mound to home plate in 1893. Around 1895, he developed a pitch called a slow ball to help reduce the stress on his arm. If you're wondering what a slow ball is, look no further than the changeup. In 1902, he joined the Boston Americans of the American League. How did he fare? Pretty good, considering he won almost 42% of his team's games in his first season with the team. Through the first perfect game in American League history against the Philadelphia Athletics. He still holds the record for the most consecutive innings without allowing a hit. 25 in the third innings, or 76 hitless batting. In 1911, he retired at the age of 44. His 749 complete games and 511 wins will never be broken.
Armchair.
Hey, could somebody explain to me what's the use of having health insurance when all we do is pay a bunch of money every month in case something happens, but when something does happen, we have to pay a bunch more?
0-2 pitch. Fastball blown away.
When you watched Pedro, it was almost poignant in a way that someone that small could throw that hard. Most great pitchers, you look at them and they all have one great strikeout pitch. If the count's 0-2, or if he even counts 3-2, he always has one place to go to get you out. Well, Pedro Martinez had 3 places to get you out. It was the fastball, it was the changeup, and it was the curveball. They were all the best pitches of their kind in baseball at the time. And he could put them anywhere that he wanted.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Schwellenbach goes back to work. First pitch on the way is drops a bunt down the third baseline. Schwellenbach picks it up on the second hop, fires it over to first. It's a bad throw, but Olsen makes the catch and taps the bag as he goes into foul territory. 1 away. One down. First pitch on the way from Schwell is a 96-mile-an-hour four-seamer on the edge. It's 0-1. Duran, the batter, righty-lefty. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. High and out of the zone, 1-1. Schwellenbach comes set and fires a curveball well outside. 2-1. The 2-1. Swing and a miss over the top, 2-2. Say Alex Wood said that the balls have changed. It's a good thing for him they have. Well, or else his ERA would be above 5.26. The 2-2 swung on, pops it up high in the sky. Drifting back near the green monster. It will go off the monster. The ball will get thrown back into the infield. It's going to be a triple. That was poorly played by Michael Harris, but not being used to the stadium. If he stands back there on the track, he makes the catch. But instead it hits the bottom of the wall. And you got a triple out of the play. That's one of those ones that'll drive you nuts as a pitcher because you know that should have been an out. And on most parks, he's going to drift back there, but he's worried about it going over his head. Think it'd have been all right, though, because even if it did go over his head, Kelnick was backing it up the play. So the infield's going to come in. First pitch misses outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 to Valdez, swung on, chopped back foul. Slaps up against the screen behind home plate, 1-1. The 1-1. Schwell lets her rip. Nowhere near the zone, changeup misses, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Righty-lefty. The pitch to Valdez. Fastball right there on the outer edge, 2-2. Schwellenbach could really use a strikeout here. The 2-2. Comes set, lets her go. Changeup misses down and away. 3-2. Runner on third. 1 out. The payoff pitch. Swung on. That ball's belted high and deep into right center field, and that ball is off the wall. That'll be a run, and it'll be a double. RBI double. Boston leads at 4-0. Got way too much of that one. Thought that was going to go into the bullpen. By the way, when you wonder how Aaron Arenado wins all these Gold Gloves at third and why Riley doesn't have a chance, they just had a play in Houston, a routine ball that he booted, and they gave it an infield single. So Ref Snyder comes to the plate, runner on second, first pitch, swatted foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Schwellenbach at 80 pitches. The 0-1. Righty. Pitch on the way. Swing and chop foul down the third base side. 0-2. And speak of the devil, Ray Kerr is warming up in the bullpen. Braves trail 4-0. The 0-2 pitch, down and in, 1-2. Schwellenbach comes set. Righty, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. So a big strikeout for Schwell. I don't think this outing is going to get him sent down. If that's what people think. I mean, he wasn't terrible. He wasn't what you'd love to see, but he had basically one bad inning, and that triple that came home to score this run here. I mean, you can chalk that up to the stadium. You can also chalk that one home run up to the stadium because that ball is not leaving most yards. Runners on first and second after the automatic walk. First pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball inside. It's 1-0. Braves walked Devers to get to O'Neill. Set up the righty-righty matchup. The 1-0. Swung on. That ball swatted in the left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll be a run even though Kelnick is going to try to throw home. Nowhere near it. It's 5-0. Luckily, the runner on second is Devers, so not much of a threat of him going anywhere. So runners on first and second with 2 outs. The Braves trail 5-0. 5-0. Schwellenbach at 86 pitches. Kerr, if he's warmed up, they may go get him. Yep, that's what they're going to do. You got the left-hander Smith and the left-hander Hamilton due up. We'll be back in a flash. That'll be it for Schwell. Tough outing. The Braves trail 5-0.
I'm only calling your phone 32 times and that's it. Boy, I'm not about to chase you.
The 1906 Chicago Cubs, the 2001 Seattle Mariners, the 1998 New York Yankees are some of the greatest teams of all time. But what about the 1980 Denver Bears? That team won 92 games and finished 21.5 games ahead of the next closest team. They were an offensive juggernaut, averaging 6.36 runs per game. On top of that, they led the league in home runs, doubles, hits, and OPS. That's not all. They also were a menace on the base pass, finishing second in stolen bases with 143 and second in triples with 47. Man, they could fly. You may be asking yourself, what about their pitching? Their 3.87 ERA and 740 strikeouts were second in the league, and their 14 shutouts were tops in the league. They were hard to beat at home. At one point, they won 21 straight games at home. One of the stars of their team was a 20-year-old Tim Raines, who finished with a .354 batting average to go along with his 11 triples and 77 stolen bases. His teammates Tim Wallach and Randy Bass would also contribute, hitting a combined 73 home runs and driving in a combined 267 runs. 24 of the 29 players on that team would wind up playing in the major leagues. That group combined for 13 All-Star appearances, 3 Gold Gloves, and 3 Silver Sluggers. This team has got to go down as one of the best teams in minor league history.
Booby trap spelled backwards is party boob.
10 Japanese pitchers had already come to the United States, but no Japanese position player had ever appeared in the majors. Then, in 2000, the Japanese-owned Seattle Mariners decided to sign him anyway, hoping Ichiro would attract a large following among Asian Americans living in the Pacific Northwest.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Welcome in. Atlanta Braves trail 5-0. Ray Kerr comes to the mound. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch from Kerr is right there for a strike. Curveball, it's 0-1. Talked about this before. This is Kerr's best chance to succeed when the team cannot build an entire lineup against him. Is he 0-1? Curveball looked like it hit the zone going by. Didn't get the call. 1-1. Dominic Smith, lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Kerr comes set the pitch. Fastball swatted into right field. That is going to get off the wall. That's going to be at least one run. They're waving home the runner around. Boston leads at 6-0. They're going to hold the runner at third. At first they started to send him, then they held him up. That ball was just fair. It hit the side of the wall just below the pesky pole there in right field. First pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball to Hamilton. It's 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. Braves trail 6-0. Bottom of the fifth. The 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. The one bright side is if they can get Pivetta out of the game, the Red Sox have a very lowly ranked bullpen. But you got to get to him first. The 2-0. Kerr comes set, lets her fly. Curveball off the edge, ball 3-0. So Kerr has come out of the pen and done absolutely nothing. Braves trail 6-0. He's in danger of loading the bases now. The 3-0. Nowhere near the zone, ball 4. Darnode going out there to talk to Kerr. I don't know what much you can say to him. He has to at least face this batter. He hasn't even faced the minimum yet. So, lefty-righty matchup. Rafaela stands in with 7 home runs. The first pitch, swing and a miss, 96 right down the pipe on 1. The 0-1 comes, sets and fires, high and out of the zone, 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Kerr working slowly. The 1-1 pitch lifts his leg. Swing. That ball's lifted high into center field. Harris will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Braves cough up 3. It's 6-0. We head to the 6th. top of the order coming to the plate.
I'm going to say no one's better than me, but I just, him playing in his 7th Super Bowl.
The most prolific and pure passing quarterback that this generation has ever seen.
Dan Marino, and it's always been Dan Marino.
But Marino, if you look at the stats, dude, his first season, 48 touchdowns in that era.
Back in,
dude,
what,
best
70s?
best quarterback
80s?
season in history. I don't care what anyone says,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Like, every single time that I've been putting up and breaking these records, it's like Dan Marino had 170 touchdowns in 3 years. I'm like, what? I thought they ran the ball back then.
It's hard to pick one, but I just think one of the guys I've seen play the best in that position that didn't get his due was Dan. I mean, you put Danny in here today with some of the size of these receivers and his ability to get the ball out of his hand and how accurate he was.
Not going to see quarterbacks like Dan Marino ever again.
Armchair.
Hey, does anybody else have to defrost when they first wake up before they start talking to people because they'd be mad as hell for no apparent reason for the first few minutes? Or is it just me?
In an era filled with home runs, Ichiro was a revelation, slapping the ball in every direction, beating out infield hits, flying around the bases.
Because this was in the midst of a bludgeon ball era in baseball, and here's this wiry little guy spraying base hits everywhere, beating out infield choppers, playing this sort of cerebral game. Was so different from the prevailing culture of the sport that I think it made it even more appealing.
Japanese newspapers and television stations dispatched hundreds of reporters to send back news of his every move to a nation eager for any information about their hero. Ichiro, his prime minister declared, makes me proud to be Japanese.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's fitting that we added that emoji today. That's the believe emoji with the tomahawk symbol. Braves trail 6-0. We do have the top of the order coming up, but if you're going to get back in this game, you'd like to start chipping away right now. 6-0 your score, top of the 6th. The first pitch on the way is a curveball up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Pivetta at just 72 pitches. So he's in pretty good shape at that mark. This is the third time through the order. Braves with just the one hit, the 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top, it's 0-2. Six runs, 8 hits, no errors for Boston. No runs, no hits, no errors for Atlanta. The 0-2 to Michael. Swung on, lifted into center field. Drifting back, making the easy catch is Rafi. One away. One down. We'll be taking on the Washington Nationals. That's the kind of the bad news. We didn't fare too well against them last week. The good news is we won't be having any of our lower tier pitchers starting. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is swung on and grounded over to third. 3-5 put out. Riley busted it down the line, almost beat that one out, 2 down. If you missed it earlier, they announced the rotation for this weekend starting tomorrow night. 6:45 first pitch, by the way, y'all. That can sneak up on you. We're so used to games starting around 7, but 6:45 tomorrow. It'll be Raylo Day tomorrow. Then Chris Sale on Friday, Morton on Saturday, and Freed on Sunday. 2 down, and the first pitch on the way to Marcelo Ozuna is right there on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Swing and chops it foul, 0-2. Cardinals lead the Astros 3-0. That game is in the 5th. The 0-2. Pivetta comes set. Rocks and fires. Down below the knees, 96 miles an hour. That had to have been a hard take. That was a P right there at the knee over the plate. 1-2. The 1-2. Pavetta brings it. Swing. That ball's lifted into center field. That's going to be caught just before the warning track. Deepest part of the park. That was never going to get out. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves trail 6-0 heading to the bottom of the 6th.
God gives the hardest battles to his strongest soldiers.
When did I sign up for the war? When did I enlist?
Facebook just killed me. Dear Santa, I am writing this on the day after Xmas, and I am very sad. I only received one of the 2 presents I asked for. Since you ate my cookies, I will assume that my missing gift was a mistake. I will give you 1 week to fix this, Jeremy. Dear Jeremy, I am sorry you are disappointed with your presents. You asked for 2 very expensive presents, and Santa can only do so much. You need to learn to be grateful for what you have, not upset about what you don't. If you continue to complain, I will have no choice but to add you to the naughty list next year, Santa. Dear Fatty, your threats don't scare me. I played your game and you did not deliver. This is not okay. I will give you 1 week and then you will pay. Jeremy. P.S. I don't know why you care that it's expensive when you have elf slaves to make things for you. I think you are naughty for having slaves. Period, Jeremy.
Ichiro finished his first season, leading the American League in at-bats, hits, batting average, and stolen bases, won a Gold Glove Award, and was voted Rookie of the Year and MVP. It would be his first of 9 consecutive 200-hit seasons, breaking a record set by Wee Willie Keeler a century earlier in 1901. Other big league clubs were now eager to sign the next Ichiro.
That's a great thing about globalization, that people can take this thing that you played with and invented, and maybe to some degree spoiled with whatever's going on here, and it can go to an entirely different place and be recreated and regrown as if it's a hybrid flower of some kind, and then come back and show you the game maybe in a different way, and maybe in a way it used to be that you hadn't thought of in a long time.
Welcome back. Ray Kerr, go back to work. First pitch on the way is a curveball, nowhere near the zone. The left-handed McGuire, it's 1-0. Boston 6, Atlanta nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning, the 1-0. Check swing foul at the curveball over the plate, 1-1. The 1-1. Lefty, lefty, the pitch. Curveball nowhere near the plate, 2-1. Colorado and Cincinnati just getting underway. It's 0-0 at the top of the first. 2-1. Four-seam fastball right there for a strike. It's 2-2. The 2-2 from Kerr. Swung on, chopped up the middle, scooped up. Nope, it's going to go off the glove of Arcia. Backing him up is Ozzie. He'll grab the rebound and fire it over to first. And it's a 4-3 putout, 1 down. Good play by Ozzie. Ball just went under the glove of Arcia, and as Arcia was putting on the brakes, he realized Ozzie had a handle on it, and he got out of his way. Ball just kind of died underneath his glove. It looked like it was going to take another hop and flattened out. First pitch on the way to Duran, the leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. Pitches outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 curveball misses down and away. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch swung on, lifted high into center field, drifting back. Making the catch is the Hawk, 2 down. Makes the catch just in front of the green monster out there. Still love the way they do all those, the scores and everything else with this stadium. They do it manually. If you ever seen the behind the scenes on that, it is a pain for the guy who has to go out there and do that all day long. First pitch on the way is a cutter. Swing and a miss, strike off the edge. It's 0-1. We took a tour of Fenway when we went last year, and they were explaining how they did it as the 0-1 pitch. Right there, first strike 0-2. And it's like a NASCAR pit crew having to be able, because you have to change those numbers in between innings. You can't, as the 0-2 pitch swung on, hit deep into left field, making a diving catch is Kelnick, and he is down writhing in pain. Man, if things couldn't get worse. Kelnick is holding his wrist, his right wrist. He makes the catch. It'll end the inning. But Kelnick, you got to be kidding me. Braves just cannot catch a break. The wrist went backwards. It's his right hand, so it's the one he makes the catches with is a left-handed player. When he made the catch, he rolled over. And for your listener on radio, basically his fist was on the ground. He was rolling over it. They're out there checking on his wrist right now to make sure he's okay. He appears he's going to be okay, but whether or not he'll stay in the game of a 6-0 game is a totally different story. They may have to pull him to get some imaging done. So I can't imagine they want to play that game. We'll be back in a flash, see if there's any update when we come back.
What can I get started for you?
Ruby, what do you want?
Hamburger?
Hamburger?
French fries?
French fries?
Salt.
Fart. Ruby!
Dear Jeremy, you are being a very bad little boy because you cannot be happy with what you have. I have talked to your parents and told them to take away your Wii U. Wow. Now you have nothing. Once you learn to be grateful, perhaps you can have it back. I am very disappointed in you, Jeremy. You will need to be an extra good boy this year if you want to make it back on the nice list. Dear Santa, I do not like that stunt you pulled my pants. You are on my naughty list. Now be afraid. Enjoy your cookies next year. Jeremy was not playing.
I have still 2 gloves that I've carded across all the years, and I have them for a purpose. One selfish, one familial. The selfish reason is I love them. I love them because they remind me of what I was when I was a kid, and they allow me to still be a kid when I hold the gloves. I can still see my parents, I can still see the apartment we lived in, all of those things. The familial reason is that my kids, like a lot of kids today, have an excess of things, material things. But my boys who played baseball, when they were 12, 13, or 14, they would occasionally come to me and say, Dad, I can't find my stuff. I can't find my catcher's equipment. You know where my bats went? And I'd go get one of the gloves and I'd say, hold it up, and I'd say, I've had this since 1954. I know where this is. Go find your stuff and don't lose it.
They are taping up Kelnick's wrist. So you don't know if they're doing that to stabilize it or if they're doing that so he can go back into the game. He would be due up 5th in this inning. Matt Olson stands in. First pitch on the way to Olson is up top. Curveball misses high. It's 1-0. If he has to come out, you would assume that J.P. Martinez would assume duties in left. The 1-0. Swing and a miss over the top, 1-1. Braves trail 6-0. The 1-1 pitch. down below the knees. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's belted down the right field line. Foul, it's 2-2. The 2-2. Righty-lefty. The pitch. Swung on, chopped back up the middle. Should be an easy play. 6-3 put out. 1 away. So 1 down. Braves came into this game 10 games over 500. So what the weird thing is about this year is that our record is about the same, but I think the reason why it feels so much different this year than last, as the first pitch on the way to Ozzie swing and a miss, strike, it's 0-1. Braves are winning a lot of low-scoring ball games, and the pitching has been phenomenal, which is why we've been in these games. Is the 0-1. Swing down the right field line, but foul and out of play. It's 0-2. So when you mix that all up, last year the games were more exciting because we were scoring more runs, so we felt invincible. We never felt like we were out of it. With these games, you get down 6-0, and you start getting your head down. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Two down. Pivetta with 9 strikeouts through 6 2/3 innings, 1 hit allowed, 2 walks. Travis d'Arnaud comes in. He takes a swing at the first pitch and fouls it back. It's 0-1. Go to Washington for 4 and then Baltimore for 3. So 7 more games on this road trip. Guess the only good thing is you could realistically stay at the same hotel as the 0-1, high and out of the zone, 1-1. If you wanted to plan it that way with Baltimore and Washington, to me, it would make more sense to get these guys a week to kind of settle in and not have to pack and unpack and pack and unpack. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back out of play, 1-2. Off game on Monday. So we'll have Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday afternoon. It's an off game on Monday. Then back at it on Tuesday night. The 1-2 pitch swung on and lifted high. Not very deep. Lazy fly ball into center field. That'll be the end of the inning. And the Braves trail 6-0. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the night. Find me something up, cracker jack.
To the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I don't see a substitution yet. And yeah, Kelnick's going back out there. He is heading back out there for the inning, so I guess he's okay. They wrapped his wrist to keep it stable. Could just be a mild sprain. That's the good news. The bad news is Ray Kerr's back out there for another inning of work. Ray Kerr, ERA at 5.4. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Ref Snyder's 94 at the knees. It's 0-1. Houston and St. Louis, it's 4-2 in the sixth. The 0-1. Down and in. 1-1. Arenado, who'd been hitting really, really poorly at the beginning of the year, he just went yard. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. Splitter, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out. The pitch. Swing, and that ball is laced down the third base line. It is a fair ball, but it hops into the stands. So it'll be a ground rule double for Ref Snyder to start the bottom of the seventh. That ball was just over the glove of Riley. He was on his way up as the ball went over his glove. Missed it by just a hair. And when it hit the ground, it bounced into the stands. Devers comes to the plate, swinging a missed strike, 96 miles an hour. It's 0-1. Boston 6, Atlanta nothing. The 0-1. Kicks and fires inside. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Lefty, lefty. The pitch. Swing and fouls it back. It's 1-2. If you're wondering about Hurst and Waldrop, the Braves' top pitching prospect down there on the farm is the 1-2 from Devers. Comes set, kicks and fires. 96 mile an hour fastball fouled away. Do it again, 1-2. Rockies lead the Reds 1-0 bottom of the first. Waldrop was promoted to AAA Gwinnett yesterday. He went 6 innings, 3 earned runs. As the 1-2 pitch swung on, lifted high. That's going to go off, or is it over? It is over the Green Monster. 8-0 your score. The second home run for Devers. He has made an art form out of just golfing those out. Off the end of the bat and just got it over the Green Monster. 8-0 your score, bottom of the seventh. Ray Kerr continues to struggle. Four putt asking, why is Ray Kerr still in? He's still in because it's 8-0. They're not going to burn any more pitchers. I don't know if he'll get, well, you got to think about this. There's 2 more innings left in this one if the Braves don't make a huge comeback. This is the 1-0 pitch, swinging a missed strike over the top. 1-1. And Kerr is well stretched out. So if he gives you the next 2 innings, you don't have to use the bullpen at all. There's the 1-1 right there for a strike, 1-2. I still contend he just was not ready to come up, not in any real role. It's the 1-2, swung on, foul back. You do wonder if the outing yesterday by Waldrop is going to slow his progression down. Now, the one thing you got to look at, he had 11 strikeouts last night. Pitch on the way is fouled back. We'll do it again. He gave up 3 runs. Gave up 5 hits in 6 innings. 1 was a home run. He walked just 1, but he struck out 11. The 1-2, inside 2-2. I would think we would see him pitch at least one more time down on the farm. He just came up to AAA. The 2-2, down below the knees, 96 miles an hour, full count. If you did bring him up, which you could do, you know, the Braves are all about trying to get this extra rest on these guys, is the payoff pitch. Swing, chop, foul back behind home plate. The next time Schwellenbach comes up, let him pitch and then send him down, and you bring Waldrop up. Something to that effect, that and have him pitch the following day. It's the payoff pitch from Kerr. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. One away. The other option you could do is after Schwellenbach pitches, you could send Kerr down, bring Waldrop up if you wanted to do that. And then depending on how Waldrop did, you either send Waldrop back down or you send Schwellenbach down. But once again, back to the whole thing with David Fletcher. If they could get him as the first pitch on the way, lefty-lefty matchup to Dominic Smith is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. If they could get Fletcher up to the major leagues and put him in the bullpen / as a bench bat, is the 0-1 down and away, 1-1. That could be an extra weapon because the Braves don't play a lot of guys off their bench, and you would have an extra guy on your bench as the 1-1 pitch is swung on, hit into center field in between short and second, and it's a 1-out single for the Red Sox. But the idea would be, let's say if you sent, we'll just say Zach Short down, whatever the case may be, and you had Fletcher on the bench, he could come off and spell anywhere as a pinch runner or infield defense, but then if a game got a hand like this one, you would have him to come out of the bullpen to throw knuckleballs. Pitch on the way from Kerr to Hamilton is swung on and hit high and deep into left field on the warning track. Making the catch is Kelnick, 2 down. Jimmy H is warming up in the bullpen, so this may be the last inning for Kerr. Jimmy Herget, who came back up when A.J. Minter was put on the IL. Rafaela takes a hack at the first pitch and swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Curveball. The 0-1. Lefty-righty. Swing and a miss over the top. 0-2. I would just like to see them score some runs, though. I mean, put some crooked numbers up on the board. Let us know you got a pulse. The 0-2. Lefty, righty, Kerr brings it. Swing, fouls it back out of play. We'll do it again. Rafaela, and then standing on deck is the number 9 hitter, McGuire. If he got through this inning, the next 2 guys would be left-handers. You may just send Kerr back out there for the 8th. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string on that one, and that'll end the inning. 8-0 your score. Braves going to try to turn back time in their own right. Let's turn back time back to 2023 when we could still come back from this.
Oh, God. Just keep your mouth shut. You just making it worse.
I'm just feeling really down these days, and I don't know why. Have you exercised today? No. Did you go outside? No.
Did you talk to anyone? No. Did you eat well? No. Did you limit your scrolling time? No. Did you make any plans? No. Did you drink enough water? No. Did you get enough sleep? No. Wait, yes. Yes to that one. Yeah, no, it's, what a mystery.
Over the next few days, the nation slowly began to regroup. Thousands made their way to New York to help search the rubble for survivors. Only a handful were found. They're still trying to find people, Derek Jeter, a resident of Manhattan, said. I really don't think it's the right time to play baseball. On Friday, September 14th, Commissioner Bud Selig announced that baseball would begin again the following Monday.
Following Monday, when they opened Wall Street, the streets were ringed with men with machine guns. There was still smoke pouring out of the pyre of the World Trade Center. A cop recognizes me. He says, how are you? I said, I'm all right. I'm all right. How are you? He says, I'm worried. I said, yeah, I'm worried too. He said, I'm worried about the Mets. And I sort of snapped out of it. I said, you're worried about the Mets? He said, yeah, well, I mean, the season resumes tonight. I'm really worried. You're in Pittsburgh. I mean, do you think they've got enough to get back in the pennant race? I mean, they were doing so well, and can they catch the Braves? I said, how on earth could that possibly matter? We're standing, I mean, the smoke coming up from behind us. And what? He says, well, he says, it doesn't matter. Of course it doesn't matter. I got 300 friends dead. It doesn't matter. He says, but tonight, 7 o'clock, and all day the rest of today, I can look forward to 7 o'clock where I can put my feet up and pretend it does matter.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trying to get on the board here, just show they got a pulse. First pitch on the way from Kelly, who comes out of the bullpen. Right there for a strike up high, it's 0-1. Adam Duvall, Kid Kelnick, and Orlando Arcia due up. The 0-1 swung on, lifted high into center field, drifting back, making the catch. One down into center. One away. And JP Martinez will come into the game. So he is batting for Kid Kelnick. So they let him go out there and play defense, but they did not want him to swing a bat. First pitch is a changeup in the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Pitch on the way. High and out of the zone, 96 miles an hour. 2-0. So the book is closed on Pivetta. He went 7, struck out 9, walked 2, 1 hit allowed. The 2-0 pitch. Swing, and that ball's belted down the right field line. Foul and out of play. Had plenty of distance, just couldn't keep it straight. JP Martinez, 28-year-old. Cuba-born native. Signed with the Rangers in 2018. An international free agent, the 2-1. Outside wide, 3-1. He's played just 1 year last year of professional baseball. Major League Baseball is a 3-1 pitch. Change up right down the pipe, 3-2. In that year, batted .225, 1 home run through 40 at-bats. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sweeper got him up top, little high, chased it out of the zone, 2 away. Zach Kelly, the right-hander on the mound for the Red Sox, He is from Newberry, South Carolina. Was born in Roanoke, Virginia. Lando Arcia takes the first pitch, changeup, about letter high for a strike. It's 0-1. Kelly, 29-year-old, has a career ERA of 3.18. The 0-1 to Arcia, 89 up top, cutter, misses high, 1-1. The 1-1, Arcia digs in the pitch. Swing and fouls it back 1-2. Got a 1-2 count. Righty pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, 97. Blew it right by him, up in his kitchen, and that'll end the inning. Braves trail 8-0. Good night, Irene. We'll be back in a flash.
Y'all be flirting with me on every app, except for Cash App.
So it says here you're fast with math? Extremely. That's impressive. What's 31 times 17? 47. It's not even close, but it was fast.
My trolls out there wondering if I am a man dressed as a woman. If you gotta question it, I'm gonna say it's a natural woman. Because have you seen the surgeries nowadays? Oh my God, God.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Going out drinking is not the same fun activity that it used to be. I'll be waking up in critical condition.
Say the weird thing. People are desperately seeking realness.
You have never once heard the Monster Mash. You've heard a song that they call the Monster Mash, but you've never once heard the real song, the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash that we know is describing a party, but you never actually hear the Monster Mash they're describing itself.
Before I work on myself, does anyone like me insane?
But now the pressure on Maris intensified. Would he break Ruth's record? Reporters asked again and again. How the hell do I know, he answered. I don't want to be Babe Ruth. He wasn't Babe Ruth. And Yankee fans never let him forget it. Even the front office tried to change the lineup to favor the more popular Mantle. Under the relentless strain, Maris's hair began to fall out in clumps. Always taciturn, he now kept silent, refusing most interviews, keeping to himself. Through it all, Maris kept hitting, and in mid-September, Mantle's injuries finally forced him out of the race with 54 home runs.
Welcome back to Brave Country Baseball.
Of course I can. I lost all our money today betting on sports. Damn. I know. I don't know.
Sorry, hit the wrong button there. Braves trail 8-0. Jimmy H coming in. 6 1/3 inning, a 2.84 ERA. Herget comes set, the right-hander with the high socks. Kicks and fires. Curveball outside wide. It's 1-0. Coming in. Appreciate folks being part of the country club. 1-0 right there, first strike, 1-1. Low curveball, but we'll take the call considering down 8-0. The 1-1 down and in, changeup nowhere near the zone, 2-1. Looks like Brian Anderson comes into the game as well. Recently acquired. He'll take over for Austin Riley at the hot corner. The 2-1, pitch high and outside the zone, ball 3, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Pitch on the way from Jimmy, swung on and belted. Deep into right field. Is it going to stay in? Back on the very back of the warning track, fighting the sun, Adam Duvall makes the catch in front of the bullpen, one away. Bug says all we need is 2 grand slams to get right back in. One thing's for sure, we're going for 2 if we get across that goal line. One down, bottom of the 8th inning. Righty-lefty, the first pitch on the way. High and out of the zone, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Inside, curveball misses. Evens up the count, 1-1. One down, Duran at the plate. Valdez on deck. Refsnyder in the hole. The pitch swung on and chopped foul towards the third base dugout. It's 1-2. Well, no better time to turn back time when trailing 8-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. On this date, in 2010, Tim Wakefield, Boston Red Sox, tosses 7 1/3 inning in Boston's 3-2 win over Cleveland at Progressive Field. The 1-2. Bang foul, will do it again. He became the Red Sox all-time leader in innings pitched that day. The 43-year-old right-hander, who has since passed, the knuckleballer, surpassing Roger Clemens, who had the mark in his 13 seasons with the club at 2,776 frames. So a 2-2 count on this date in 1974. The great Oakland A's outfielder Reggie Jackson, tired of being picked on by Billy North, is the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, that ball's lifted high and deep into right field. I think that one is going to get out. It does. It's 9-0 Boston. Duran, a solo shot. And the Boston Red Sox in a laugher today. His 4th home run of the year, 399 feet. This date, 1974, Reggie Jackson, tired of being picked on by Billy North, tackles his Oakland A's teammate in the Tiger Stadium clubhouse, starting a nasty fight resulting in costly injuries. In addition to Jackson injuring his shoulder, as Jimmy misses on the first pitch up and in for a ball, 1-0. Ray Fosse, attempting to separate the brawl, crushes a disc in his neck that virtually ends the season. The 1-0. Outside wide 2-0. It's funny, they never talk about that when they talk about the collision at home plate between Fosse and Rose and how he was never the same. But you bust a disc in your neck a couple years later. That couldn't have helped things. So a 2-1 count. Westbrook now in. Came in for Valdez. He'll resume second base duties in the 9th. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1. And on this date, 1982, Cal Ripken's span of 8,243 consecutive innings begins with the Orioles' 3-1 victory over the Minnesota Twins in the Metrodome. The 3-1, he went around, pitch was way off the plate wide, 3-2. The infielder's record streak will last for 904 games when he is lifted in the 8th inning for a pinch hitter in an 18-3 win against the Blue Jays. The payoff pitch to Westbrook is swatted into left field. Martinez cuts it off, gets it into the infield. And the Red Sox have one on and one out here in the bottom of the 8th. Braves trail 9-0, bottom of the 8th. And for those of y'all who have stuck around, y'all are the real fans. On this date in 1992, as Ref Snyder comes to the plate, he is 2 for 4. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Down and away, 1-0. This date in 1992 at Three Rivers Stadium, the Mets' first baseman, Eddie Murray, drives in 2 runs, passing Yankee legend Mickey Mantle at 15:09 as the all-time RBI leader for switch hitters. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. Wonder if one of these was heading down to the farm after, whether it's Kerr or Jimmy. The 2-0 kicks and fires right there at the knees, 2-1. The 2-1. Herget brings it, swing, and chops it foul, 2-2. And on this date in 2018, Aaron Judge becomes the first major leaguer with 8 strikeouts in a doubleheader. When he earns the Platinum Sombrero, 5 strikeouts in the Yankees' nightcap loss to the Tigers. In the opener, he struck out the first 3 at-bats. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Mike Fears was the pitcher of record that hung it on Aaron Judge. So 2 down and 1 on. Righty-righty matchup. Dalbach, who comes in for Devers, takes a swing at the first pitch. It's off the plate wide for a strike. Swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, right there at the knees, misses low, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Right there at the knees on the outer edge. 1-2. Star Trek 99 says, Nick Castellanos calls the Phillies the greatest team he's ever played for. That's a low bar. I mean, who's Nick Castellanos ever played for? The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide. 2-2. He's never won a championship. So a 2-2 count. Righty, pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Not before Boston puts another one on the board. We head to the 9th, trailing 9-0 here in Boston.
Brian, could you do me a favor and pull up your calendar so we can see a time that would work best for everybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty booked next week.
Okay, well, I am too. So, but I do have some time between 9 and 10 on Tuesday, and then I can actually do Wednesday between 12 and 3, if that.
Brian, is this your personal calendar or your work calendar?
Well, it's my work calendar, but there's some...
Do you have a pre-planned excuse for running late on Monday? The excuse was traffic and we work from home, so I don't... Amanda, you said 12 to 3 on Wednesday. I have an opening at 2.
So 2 p.m. I have nap time, but I guess I could push that back.
That's definitely not a priority for the workday. Oh. So 2 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll pencil that in.
I actually have nap time then, too.
Tony Gwynn had more 4-hit games in his career than he did multi-strikeout games. The Detroit Tigers are undefeated in games where they play a guy in all 9 positions in one game. Despite not missing a game for almost 17 years, Cal Ripken Jr. never played in 162 games more than 3 seasons in a row. The 2017 season was the first MLB season since 1886 that didn't feature either Connie Mack or Vin Scully. The New York Yankees have more World Series championships than seasons below 500. Cincinnati Reds center fielder Cesar Geronimo was a 3,000 strikeout victim of both Nolan Ryan and Bob Bob Gibson. Joe DiMaggio only had 8 more strikeouts than he did home runs in his career. In the last 105 years, the Chicago White Sox have won just 3 playoff series, all of which came in 2005. Andres Galarraga had more stolen bases in his career than Roberto Clemente.
Armchair.
In the locker room before the 154th game of the season, with the Yankees only 1 win away from the pennant, and Maris 2 home runs short of Babe Ruth's record, he broke down. His manager, Ralph Houck, consoled him in his office. If I can help win the game with a bunt, he asked, would you mind if I bunted? It wouldn't make me look bad, would it? Houck replied, no, it would make you a bigger man than ever.
Welcome back. Braves trail 9-0. Top of the 9th inning, and Michael Harris swings at the first pitch he sees, well out of the zone. It's 0-1. New pitcher for the Boston Red Sox fires the 0-1 pitch right down the pipe, change it for a strike. It's 0-2. Brad Keller, 28 years old. He's from Snellville, Georgia. The 0-2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses outside wide. 1-2. Keller pitched for Kansas City from 2018 to 2023. It's the 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Started with the White Sox and picked up by the Red Sox earlier this year. To the 2-2 pitch, a sawed-off foul. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, dribbled out in front of home plate. Michael Harris busting it down the line, and I guess the catcher just mishandled the ball. Be interesting to see how they score that. But nonetheless, Harris is on first. Leadoff runner on. Nobody out. Here we go, Braves country. One on, nobody out. Leadoff hitter on, trailing by just 9.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Brian Anderson, the 0-1 pitch, swung on, grounded over to short. Be a 6-4-3 double play. Thanks for playing, Brian. One swing and you're done. Killed the rally. This is why you don't sign Marlins off the trash heap. So 2 down. Braves down to their last out. First pitch on the way. Zach Short, who's in for Marcelo Zuna. So we're really putting our best foot forward in this inning. The 1-0 down and away, 2-0. The 2-0. Kicks and fires. Right there for a strike, 2-1. What I love about Zach Short is even down 9-0 down to our last out, he is still having a professional at bat. The 2-1. Outside wide, ball 3-3-1. He didn't go up there and just swing it at the first thing he sees, jogging down to first and heading back to the dugout. The 3-1 to Short. Swing and lifts it up high. Deep into right field, fighting the sun. Making the catch in right field is O'Neill. And that'll mercifully end this game. Braves lose, I would say a tough one. Braves just lose a bad one. 9 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Atlanta Braves. Schwellenbach goes to 0-2 and now has an 8.38 ERA. he very well could be heading back to the minors, though it wouldn't shock me if they give him one more time through the lineup. Atlanta Braves are back at it on Thursday night, tomorrow night, 6:45 first pitch. We will bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. And it'll be Ronaldo Lopez Day, so hopefully we have a much better outing. Go wash this off, drink you a cold one, whatever you got to do. Smoke you something, I don't care. Just forget about this one. We will see you tomorrow, Braves country. This is one of the worst ones we've had all year. And so disappointing after the great outing we had last night. From Max Fried to the offense, it was a complete... Now, the one thing this does remind me of last year Braves. Because the day games after the night games were always terrible. We'll see you tomorrow, Braves country. Keep your chin up and drink something strong for me.